everybody. Debbie Cowan here with Prime Lending, and it is our Thursday video. And I'm so fortunate to have my new friend, Kristin Prior, here with us with On Top of the World New Construction Sales. Welcome.
Thank you.
So happy to finally get together with you. Your schedule is tough to manage.
Yes, yours as well. So
you have been busy.
Yes.
So, Kristin, one of the things that we do on the video is we talk a little bit about your background. You know, we want to let the community know who you are, how you got into business, how you got into real estate, how you got into builder sales. So I'm just going to start throwing questions at you, if that's cool.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay. So I know On Top of the World, how long have you been with them?
Sure. So I started with On Top of the World back in February of 2020. So we're coming up on almost 4 years.
You started with the COVID
I did.
pandemic?
Yes, I did. So that was quite the experience. I went through 6 weeks of training with them.
Right.
And hit the sales floor and the door shut.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's been quite the journey. I've learned quite a lot over the 4 years.
So when the door shut, what does that mean?
Well, all of the protocol for COVID
Right.
that we had to take, we had to shut everything down until we could all figure out how to navigate through this. So it's been a journey.
Were you like still working in their office, or were you having to go home and not do anything?
Yes. So we were
because you were at the height of it.
Yes. We had about 20 sales counselors at the time, and we were on a rotation to keep everybody 6 feet apart. And
okay.
So some people would work remote, some people would be in the office. So I feel we navigated it pretty well.
Yeah. Can you believe that really happened 4 years ago? Almost what? Yeah, almost 4 years ago.
No, and it seems like a dream.
I know. So. And I was saying to one of my friends the other day how we literally were so cautious. I mean, wiping down bags of groceries and doing all the things they told us to do. And we've just kind of gone back to normal again. It's just, how did it happen? It was so weird.
Yeah.
And such a weird time for us, too.
Absolutely. And all of the things that it affected. Not only did it affect the way we were able to communicate with people, we had to sell, we had masks on, everything changed as far as how our communication was. But not only that, little did we know it was going to affect supply chain issues, building it, all of those.
Yep.
So I feel like we've navigated through it well, and here we are today.
Thank God. But so when you were doing that and you started in 2020, how long have you been actually in real estate?
So I've been in real estate for the past 5 years.
Oh, okay.
It was something, I've done a lot of management positions, but it was always a dream of mine to get into the real estate industry. So
how did it happen?
Yeah.
I mean, how did you get there?
Well, I was working for a dental practice.
Okay.
And decided I was managing and decided that this was the time in my life that I was going to take that leap of faith and get my real estate license. I always only wanted to do new home builds. I had an aunt who was really encoured me to do that, and she only did the new builds.
So you had family that did it?
I did. So that's where the interest came from. And 5 years ago, I got my license, and I never looked back.
So, and you're so successful in such a short period of time. That's really amazing, especially going through the whole pandemic and all that stuff at the same time and being as successful as you are.
Yeah, it definitely was a season for me.
Yeah.
I had a lot of time at home with my daughters back when they were young, raised them, and then now it's time for me.
How many daughters?
2 daughters.
Are they local with you?
One's local and teaches for a local high school.
Oh.
She teaches business, and the youngest, just moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. She's an architectural designer up there.
Oh, how great. Yeah.
Very proud. They're very independent.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I get it. And I was going to say, it must be a little bit hard to see them go, one of them go. I have a daughter that's in Tampa and a son that's in Virginia. So as they you start doing the empty nester and they start getting more dependent, it's kind of tough, but it also opens up a lot of opportunities to kind of do some fun stuff too.
It absolutely does, and they're off living their lives, and I'm off, being able to be there 100% for my customers.
Yep.
So that's really important.
And it is in this business too.
Yes, very important.
So tell us a little bit about On Top of the World, the new builds.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, On Top of the World is a 55+ community, very amenity rich. We were founded over 41 years ago by Sidney Colin.
Yep.
He is the founder. We're our own builder, Colin Built Development.
Right.
We sit on 13,000 acres.
I mean, you guys have so many homes being built.
We do. I would say approximately 7,500 right now existing on the property.
Wow.
We don't really have a cap on where we're going to end up there. the Colon family is very plugged into everything.
Well, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No.
I was just at a managers meeting the last couple of days, and I was talking to our CEO, and actually we talked about just the lack of homes, and the inventory is still very, very low compared to the amount of people that will be looking and needing homes. So we talked about new builds, and we just talked about how that's the only thing that's really going to sustain us over the next 5 to 10 years. It's just, they have to keep building.
Yes. And as a whole, as in On Top of the World goes, we have many happy residents.
Yes,
so
you do.
we have very little.
My mom lives there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Whereabouts?
Well, she lives in the old section in the villas.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
That's our history. That's how we got started.
That's how you got started.
We have a lot of residents that have been there quite some time.
Yep.
So we currently now, as far as the new home builds go, in On Top of the World, we're building in 3 active communities.
Right.
We have 4 series of homes, Carriage, Premier, Classic, and Estate.
Yep.
So we have a lot to offer as far as...
Now, do you sell all 4?
I do.
Okay.
So the 3 communities we're building in now is Wayborn Landing, Longleaf Ridge, and Ashford.
And what do you think you have as far as how many houses do you think you'll be seeing over the next couple of years?
Yes. So we don't like to put a number
Right, 'cause you never know.
on that. Yes, but I would say, over the next couple of years, probably another 1,000 or so.
Okay. And are you guys starting to see the slowdown with the issues with supply chains? Has that gotten better?
Right. So quite honestly, if you're looking to purchase a home in On Top of the World versus the past 3 years,
Right.
It is a great time.
Yeah.
So supply chain issue has eased up. Build times have gone down.
Yep.
During COVID, we were about a 12-month build time. We're about 6 to 7 months
Which
right
is
now.
fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
you guys must have all of your own subs and all that. Do you guys?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We have 2nd and 3rd generations
That's what I
of
thought.
contractors.
Which makes a big difference.
It absolutely does. We are our own builder as well in concrete
Right.
block construction, so that is very desirable
Yep.
in the state of Florida as well as being inland.
You're right.
So.
Right. So that makes a big difference. So 1,000 homes going to give you some job security for a while, right?
I'll tell you,
Hopefully.
if everything sustains, our market's changing as well.
Right.
I'd like to ask you a little bit on
Sure.
your advice about mortgage rates.
Right.
So right now, things have changed where interest rates were so low the past several years that my buyers continuously are coming up to me and saying, Kristin, I don't know, it's not the right time to buy. Interest rates are so high.
Especially with the 55 plus
Yes.
clientele. I mean, they are financially savvy. They have worked hard all their lives.
Absolutely.
They've gotten to that point with retirement. They've got investments. And so, everybody asks the same questions, though. It doesn't matter whether they are, financially taken care of or if they're first-time home buyers or whatever the case may be. They all ask that same question. Is it a good time to buy right now? And, taking away the fact that this is how I earn my living and wanting to be selfish and say, absolutely, it's the best time to buy. It really is. And I'm sure in your business, you probably have seen the same thing. When rates were low, prices of homes were higher.
This is correct.
Right. So in today's market, we're starting to see the pricing of the homes come down because we have to worry about affordability, right? So these customers, whether they, want to pay cash or whatever, they still want to be able to afford the home. They have to be able to afford it.
Yes.
So what I see is the biggest opportunity for buyers today. I mean, when you saw COVID, I mean, people were paying high prices. They were multi-offers. You couldn't service all your clients. You couldn't put them all into a home because it was just it was too busy.
Correct.
Now we have the opportunity to have a chance to sit down, talk to them, and educate them and say, look, no one, I don't care what class of or what time in your life you're in buying, no one's going to keep these rates.
Right.
So if you're in a position where you don't want to pay cash and you do have to finance, you're never going to keep this rate. You're going to refinance it as soon as rates come down, and we forecast rates will be down by the second quarter of next year. So will they be down to 3? Don't know. Will they be down to 4? Probably 4.5, 5, somewhere in that market. The same way with you, where you can't guarantee anything. We're doing the same. But the forecasters are telling us, we're going to be back down again. And when that happens, the pricing of the home's going to go up. Competition's going to get more strict for the buyers. So, and so you're going to pay more for a house then when the rates are lower. So what is the best time to buy? Is it good now because you're going to get a good deal on the house? Yes.
Yes.
Better deal than you would in a different market. And number two, you're going to have that opportunity to buy the rate or get the rate that everybody's getting 2 years from now.
Yes.
At a higher priced house. So you get the best of both worlds. You're going to refinance and get the same rate as everybody else, but you're going to have equity and you're going to buy into it at the right time.
Yes.
So without all selfish emotions and anything else put into it, people are still buying.
Yes.
And people are making the decision to buy because they understand it, because now they've gotten past the shock of, oh my God, we went from a 3% rate to a 7.5% rate. They've gotten over it. They don't like it, neither do we. So we're all in the same boat. But at the reality, if you love the house and you can afford the payment temporarily, go for it.
Absolutely.
Do it. And then when it's time to refinance, because you're going to already have built-in equity.
Right. Absolutely. And just to speak to some of that in the past several years, right now the biggest thing that I can say to my buyers and clients are that you have choices. Mm-hmm. So you have choices where the past several years, rates might have been lower, but there were no choices.
None.
So what does that mean? That means that you can build a home. We actually have lots available.
Yes, yeah.
We have move-in ready homes.
Yep.
We had sold through all of that. We had nothing. We actually sustained and went through a lottery. I had many dear clients of mine.
I remember that.
That, and I'm very proud of the way we handled that, because we did not do any bidding. We
Right.
did not have anything of that sort. It truly was a drawing,
Yep.
and people put their name in, and we submitted
That was the most fair thing ever.
Yeah, and they really had to just settle for the lot that they got.
Right.
We're back to the days where we can walk on your lot, see how the home's going to
Yep.
sit,
Yep.
and choose between several.
Yeah.
And you can actually create that perfect home. And I will also say that one thing about being in a 55 plus
Mm-hmm.
community, and people are going to buy still, is that they're ready to move forward on their retirement.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether the rates are high or not. So anything that we can do together
Yep.
to ease their worry,
concern. Yep.
is great.
Yeah, and I can tell you that I would say 99% of the time when I have a chance to sit down and talk to them, because I'm, over doing this for 30 years, you almost come without the degree, you become a financial advisor too. And if you truly have an investment with that buyer
Mm-hmm.
and that client, and you care about what is best for them. I mean, there have been times when I've said this might not be the best time for you to buy.
Mm-hmm.
It may not, because I look at what they've got coming in. I've looked at, they may have, limited income or whatever. And so, and I know that in Florida, especially because we are a preferred place to live, that, we do have homeowners insurance challenges. We do have high cost. We do have, our taxes are going up because we're selling more and everybody wants to be here. So, I do look at that too. So just being honest and having the conversation with them and walking them through. I bet I have on an average 10 calls with their financial advisors a month. And we talk it through, and then they go, yeah, because they don't want them to pay off their investments.
Right.
They want them to hold on to them because they know long term it's going to be a good
Yes.
investment for them. So once I'm able to partner with their investment banker or their advisor as well, we can they always trust their financial advisor.
Right.
Whatever their financial advisor says,
They do.
they do it. And so it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll only put 5% down instead of putting 50% down, and I'll hold on to my investments, and I'll do this and I'll do that. It's all about just reading and understanding who you're dealing with, what clientele you're dealing with, what's important to them, listening to them, and not being afraid to jump on the call with somebody that's smarter than me in their case, and talk through what we're thinking, and then all of a sudden they feel comfortable. So I love the fact that what you just said, that there is a time now where you can walk the lot with them. You can I mean, because really, for most of these people, this is their last home.
It
Where
absolutely
you
is.
are. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's their forever dream home, what they've worked so hard for so many years, over the years, and they've gotten there.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's more of a personal touch that we couldn't have during 21 and 22. It was just tough. I mean, it was like a factory, just getting them out, getting them closed, moving on. So I love I literally love the fact that I can have a conversation with someone and I don't have to rush them off the phone.
Absolutely.
And we can talk. And once they feel good, that's all that matters. I mean, they're the ones, that's why I always tell them, you're the ones making the payments.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be comfortable with it. And I'm telling you, you qualify for this, but you've got to be the one to make the payment. So
Absolutely. Just to speak to that a little bit, it's funny, just reaching out, talking to our clients. When I started with On Top of the World, they actually called us sales counselors.
Mm-hmm.
And truly, that's what it is. When you work
1,000%.
Yes, when you work in new home builds at On Top of the World, you are along with them for every step of the way.
And
So
they know where you are.
Yes.
They can find
They
you
know
after
where
you
you
move
are.
in.
Yes, they
So
can.
so you better do them right.
I actually have said that.
Uh-huh.
But
I do too.
Yeah, it's a joke, but it's not.
It's
You
true.
know, it's very important. Customer service is number one, and most of the clients, most of mine, not only they're located all over the country and world.
Yep.
So we are their lifeline. So it's very important that you communicate.
Yep.
So it's truly been.
And I mean, when I think, I always say I want to be their lender for life. I want to be their children's lender. I want to be their grandchildren, whatever, however long I'm going to be doing this, forever and ever day. But you guys have a unique opportunity because, and I've told Whit this too.
Yes.
Is that you have an opportunity because, I mean, he bought right there in Calessa.
Right. Yes, he did.
So he believed in the product so much, and he can actually talk to that.
Right.
But I mean, those community functions and living in the community or whatever, they know where to find him too. And he goes, yeah, they really, really do now because. But I mean, it's such a cool idea because I think about some of the 55 plus they think of us as their kids sometimes. I mean, they get so close to us. So to be able to walk in your office and go, hey, I just wanted to stop by and say, hey, because you become a part of their life. So you're part of their story, you're part of their journey. And at the end of the day, I mean, if it's a good one, it's a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And some of the most challenging ones.
Yeah.
But I've seen great friendships.
Yep.
With when you build new, everybody is getting in at the same time
Yep.
around you.
Yeah.
And I've seen some amazing instant friendships made.
I love that.
People connect before they ever get into the state of Florida.
Yep.
And it's truly amazing to watch. And speaking, this is something a little funny, but yes, Whit does live in Calessa, and he's great. I get the question a lot, do I live on Top of the World? Why don't you live on Top of the World? Well,
You're not old enough.
I have just a couple more years.
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew the answer to that.
Yes, but, possibly one day.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, the funny thing, I absolutely knew why you didn't live there. But
I'm not far.
Well, God bless. But I mean, there is a requirement. Obviously,
Yes.
But so tell me the price ranges. I mean, you don't have to be specific, but
No,
I mean, I know you have a couple. How many models?
Yeah, I referenced earlier the series of homes
Right.
that we have. We've got all different
Right.
price points. We don't. I don't like the word skimp, but we offer. If you want to downsize, you've had that big house
Yep.
in your life, and you just want to keep it simple and
Yep.
enjoy life. We don't. You can put anything in an estate home down in a carriage home. So
Okay.
the carriage are smaller homes. They start at $300,000, and
Which is a great
Yeah,
price.
the estates go up to a base pricing starting in the upper 400s.
Okay.
So we deliver from a 1,300 square foot home to almost 3,000.
Oh, wow.
And everything in between.
And do you guys are they able to have their own pools and stuff in the yard?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'll find that On Top of the World is so amenity
I was going to
rich
say that was my next question.
Yes, people move to Florida with the, they want
Lifestyle.
a pool, they want all that. It's the lifestyle, absolutely. But they find that we're so well equipped.
Yeah, you are.
With our facilities, and they don't have to take care of that pool. That may fall
So
by
talk
the
about a
wayside.
little bit about the amenities they
Yeah.
get with
Yeah,
with
we
On
have,
Top of the World.
So it's pretty pretty well equipped. We've got 3 beautiful golf courses.
Right.
Candler Hills, they're all 18 hole. Candler Hills is our semi-private
Right.
course, and then we have 2 private courses.
Okay.
Now, you can knock yourself out and do the world membership, or you don't have to join at all. It is not a requirement.
Okay.
We've got miniature golf as well.
Yeah.
Pickleball's very big,
Yep.
of course, but we have 5 pools, 2 gyms.
And just all the clubs.
Yes.
It's funny. I've been doing business in On Top of the World. We were, even when I was with Wells Fargo,
Right.
we were one of the few that did leasehold. And so I've been familiar with On Top of the World for years and years and years. And everybody would say, well, tell me why On Top of the World, you know, or, you know, I'm looking over here, but I'm also looking over here and here and here. And I said, well, you know, there's 2 spectrums. You've got On Top of the World that have the amenities, and you've got the villages that, to me, are the only 2 that compare with one another because of the amount of amenities that you have for, you know, what are you looking for? If you're looking to just have a quiet neighborhood and you don't really care, you're not doing the pickleball, you're not doing the golf, you're not getting involved. I mean, I told my mom when I moved her there in 2000, I think it was 2021 from Inverness, and I said,
nice.
you will never be bored. You will never look for something to do. You can do card games. You can do clubs. I mean, there's women's swimming and all this other stuff that you can always do. And people, when they go there for that lifestyle visit, that is what, when they find out what the difference is between that and other 55 plus communities that may not focus on the lifestyle of activity. That's, I guess that's a difference for me.
Yeah. So a couple of things, and this is a joke I always say to my clients when I'm doing a first time visit is, you know, we offer almost 200 clubs. We've got the activity center. We've got a hobby building. I recommend they don't go out and join every single club. Right. Because and try and do all of that.
And it's a golf club community, too.
Yes, it is.
I mean, golf cart, excuse me.
Yes, it is. We are golf cart friendly.
Yep.
So you can get a little bit outside of the community to restaurants and Publix, all the main stuff. And we also have a town square. So we have a lot going on up there with a cultural center, farmers market up there. So really a whole lot to plug you into. One of the ways I like to describe the community is sprawling. So the way that the Cullen family has designed it is, and very different from the villages, I might add, is that not everybody's running to one town square for social activities. There's so many places where it's spread out and you can go and it's quiet and still, you know, gives you that feel of private
and I will say that because in the villages it's busy. It's constantly lots of activity, over activity to the point where I understand what you mean. When you drive through On Top of the World, it's peaceful. You don't see 300 golf carts going down the road at the same time. So I get it.
Yeah, so they're a city. We're a private gated neighborhood. We are 24-hour manned. So you do have...
Yeah, and that is a little annoying, I will say. Because
I've never heard that.
Listen, I bet you haven't, But I told my mom, I said, can't you get me a guard pass so I can come in if I need to? She's like, nope, they only said one. I said, okay, well, they'll be taking care of you when they, you know. But yeah, you are very protected there. You are very protected there. That is a definite go. And I think we've gone to, I've taken her many, many times. She's older, so I've taken her many times to the brunches and stuff over at Candler Hills. And I mean, they just really do a nice job. I mean, it is. And I never thought about it when I compared the two. And the reason why I did compare them as similar communities is because of the activities that they offer. But I do know the feeling that you're talking about. It is very hectic versus not so hectic over here. So there is a different lifestyle change there too.
It is. And to what appeals to one might
and and they're on opposite sides. So I mean, there's no competition there. No. It's definitely, but it's just.
What you're looking
I always
for.
say the adult playgrounds. You know, that's kind of what I look at. And so a lot of 55 plus communities that maybe have a golf course, but they're really not into, you know, giving you a hectic and an opportunity to be and do a lot of different things. It's very, very, you know, low key.
Right.
So, so 5 years, almost 5 years in the business.
5 years in the business.
4 years.
4 years at On Top
of the World. And you are one of their top producers too.
I am.
So, What do you attribute to your success? What makes it work for you?
Oh gosh. Again, I'm going to reference back the time and place in my life, being able to really dedicate myself to my clients.
Did you tell me earlier that you haven't had a day off in how long?
Oh, it's been a while. So I'm working on that.
Okay.
But again, just being consistent and referrals, referrals as well.
But you get that because of what? I mean, there's a reason why they send you referrals.
Well, of course, that all goes back to excellent customer service. A lot of them become friends, and it's certainly the ultimate compliment to have them put their loved ones or family members in your hands.
And that's where I was kind of heading
Yeah,
with that, because
yeah.
there's a reason. I mean, people in this business do not, they don't succeed just because there's something to sell.
Right.
It's because who's selling it. And I'm a firm believer that it's all about what you deliver, how your experience is, whether it's white glove service, and people know they don't buy what you're selling, they buy you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I knew there was a reason. It wasn't just because you're great at sales, which you probably are, but there's also a relationship there.
Yeah, I would say the number one thing when meeting with new clients is to sit back and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Since you haven't had a day off in a very long time, do you have any specific hobbies or anything?
I do. My husband and I, we fish.
Okay.
We have a boat. I know I don't look like a fisherman,
No.
but I am. So I run, we fish. I love fitness. And I'm actually right now just working on some professional things as well.
Don't want to talk about it?
Well, maybe a YouTube channel coming soon.
Okay. Well, listen, would you have me on it?
Absolutely.
Okay, I want to
That's
be
my
on
first
it.
guest.
Okay. Well, listen, Kristin, we have done it. We have gone through our time.
Yes.
I told you it would go quick,
Yes.
right?
Oh, it has.
Super easy?
Yes.
All right. It has been so much fun getting to know you. I already felt like I knew you, but I'm so glad we finally got a chance to do this.
On the first try.
On the first try, yeah. Everybody, again, Kristin Prior with On Top of the World New Construction. You want to give them your phone number and let them know how to reach you?
Sure. My number is 352-789-9670.
And do you work like whenever?
Yeah, our sales center is open
Right.
9 to 5, 7 days a week. Actually, Sundays 10 to 5, and you'll find me there most days.
I had that feeling, y'all. Give her a call. She's awesome, and I look forward to working more with her as well. And have a great day.